Hello everybody, my name is Scatter. Welcome back to Divine Journey 2. So last time we got a little bit of nice automation set up. Definitely not enough, it's never going to be enough, but today I have a couple specific things I want to do. And I need to take care of one little thing first. So let me see if this is lined up about right. I want to get over to the diesel generator here. Perfect. Now, so I need, this should be safe. Why is that not safe? Because that's an output as well as an input. So it's all on the same line now. Yeah, that's probably not ideal, but in any case, what I want to do is I want to have a way to turn this on and off, right? Because if, apparently the diesel generator runs all the time, even if there's no demand, which is just a waste of diesel, which sucks. So hopefully, I mean, what I really hope is that that's wrong, but I doubt that it's wrong. But so I want to have that. Oh God, why was there so much knockback on that? So that I can do that in a way that is convenient and not have to run down here every time. I decided to try and use this red alloy wire. Not 100% sure how it works, but to run a line down. So this should work, right? I think I just need a little bit more of it, and maybe like regular redstone would have been smarter. But, well, I originally wanted to like put it up here somewhere, so I would have had it like climb the wall, but now that I think about it, having it downstairs is fine, and I don't need to have it do that at all. So I'm actually just going to try it with regular redstone first, because I'm pretty sure there's no reason not to do that. I'll save the red alloy wire for a time when it's more needed. So vein mine that up. Okay, now that's gonna, if I do this, I guess there's no real way for me to tell if that's really reading that or not, so I'll just play it safe and do it this way, and then I can be sure that it is. Right? There's no universe where that's not powering this block. Right? So I'll just run that all the way around, being very careful. And then if I put this block here, I'll make it a piece of sky stone just to make it look cool. And then, okay, so now, assuming that signal reaches all the way and is going to be strong enough. I mean, it's powered, right? Power 1, so it's just long enough, assuming that's going to be enough to actually turn this on or off, which we can test out. But let me go /home quickly. Okay, so just between episodes, I went and took some of these hay bales that I have, threw them in the crusher. The wheat can just be turned directly into seeds, so I'm not going to set up any kind of automated farming just yet, but I will make just some plant oil from this stuff. And right, so there's almost no power, which makes sense, right? But this should be making diesel, which means the diesel generator should be working. It doesn't sound like it's working though, which is good, because that means, okay, there's no diesel in that. Okay, it works. I'm surprised, I have to say, but I'm happy though. So here is our diesel generator control. And you can hear it working. That's fantastic. Okay. So I will just have it. I'm going to leave it off for now. Couldn't really tell you why. Well, I mean, I will tell you why. It's because I don't have any kind of power storage. So it would just kind of waste it all. But I'll get some more of this in here. See, if this is going to start to back up, it would be when this thing fills up. And what worries me is that this is still getting pulled down. Hopefully it's just getting pulled into the pipes or some kind of internal buffer in the generator, and it's not actually being used up. So I do want to see this get backed up at some point, but you can see it is producing the diesel, right? So yeah. Not 100% sure how that's going. And maybe even a better way to control it would, rather than turn on and off the diesel generator, would be to turn on and off the feed of diesel to it. But I'm not 100% sure how to do that, so I'm just going to leave it and hopefully this will work. So I've been throwing some iron in here as well. How much? You pretty much gotten through most of a stack there. And I had a bunch of iron in the chest by the smelter, so that's in here now. I have 600 iron, right about 300 steel, and more is coming down the pipe, quite literally. So what I do need some more of, though, is coal coke, and I want to be able to have a lot of coal coke. So I need a way right now to connect this to this. Now, I should have tried this before, but does this work with the crescent hammer? No, it doesn't. Okay. Is it going to work with the configurator? So to make the configurator, I'll need the Osgil glass that we made and some steel. And I'm not 100% sure what else. Configurator. Just some enriched alloys. Yeah, pretty much just some enriched alloys. Lapis and a stick. Okay. And I use all those. Okay, well that's just iron and redstone in this machine. Just make another whole stack. That's fine. We're keeping up with the power, barely. Well, we're not keeping up with the power, though. So now I wonder. No, I don't want to turn on the diesel generator until I see for sure that it's backing up. I'm going to leave it until then. It's not backing up. Like, what's happening to this diesel is my question. Because it's not, I don't think it's being turned into power unless the machine is silent but still working. So there must be an internal buffer. I want to see that for sure. Because if not, I need to figure out another way. But I want to see it. I think that is what's happening. But I want to see it for sure. We're still good on ethanol. Did this still have any ethanol in it? It did. Okay. Now it should be empty, though. Yeah. Okay. And I think I have one of those in there. Why don't they stack? MBT one tag and MBT one tag. All right, whatever. Don't really care that much. Right. Where's Shallow? Need to figure out a way to get down here. Well, once I get the open blocks elevators, that'll be fine. But don't have those quite yet. Soonish, though. Soonish. And I didn't get the lapis or the stick. I make a couple more crafting tables just to throw around here. Okay. Oh, not that. Okay, there's the configurator. So this is the mechanism wand, right? It can do a lot of stuff. It can do a wrench, rotate, empty, configurate, heat, energy, gases, fluids is probably what I want. Oh, I got the gang all here. Where'd the other one go? Oh. Okay. So redstone sensitivity. Okay, that's not what I want. All right, a wrench. No, I just can't do it. Can it connect maybe to the other side? I feel like I already tried this. Yeah. Hang on. Okay, let me look into this a little bit, because the quest does say that you can use the basic mechanical pipes, right? So let me look into it. I'm sure there's a way that I'm just missing. Okay, so I just built this wrong. I totally misunderstood. This needs to go on the end like this. That has to go like that, right? And then I need to go get... I should have another one of these. Dynamic tank. Yeah, so that was why I had a leftover one. There we go. So that's valid. It flashed with particles. We love particles. I wish there was some dirt around here for me to middle click. Okay, so now should this just connect on its own? I feel like it should. Volume, no fluid. There we go. Is this draining? It's not, so let me just... Wrench. Wrench, configure fluids. Redstone sensitivity turned off. Isn't there a way to, like... Empty. Heat, energy, gases, fluids. This is a fluid, is it not? Can I just tell you to pull in? Can you pull from here? So I would need to... There you go. Yes, okay. So that works, at least. So I know it can receive fuel. Maybe it just can't from the open blocks tanks, which would be a shame. But how else am I meant to pull out from the open blocks tanks? You know what? I'm sure there's an answer to that somewhere. Oh, this happened again. Is that what I want? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's an easy answer to this. Let me just look it up. Okay, so if all else fails, I think I can use a fluid duct, but I think you just need to shift right click. I don't know if that's going to be with a wrench or... Nope, not with wrench. So there, and then configure fluids. Shift right click. There we go. Push, pull, pull. Yo, yeah, this is draining for sure. Wait, I didn't mean to fill that. Okay, I just put it all back in. Okay, yes, this is good. So now the question is, can I pull straight out from here? I want to say yes. I hope it's a yes. Pull. Okay, so pull out from there. Yeah, you got to shift right click to change modes like that. So this is all going to drain into here. This has plenty of space. And now I have this tank here left over that I can just use for stuff. Yeah, that's going to drain slowly, but that's okay. I just need some more coal, which I'm running dangerously low on. I need to, actually, I'll make, do I have any coal blocks left anywhere? I don't think I do. I think I turned it all into, regular coal. What's that? Black wool. Yeah. Well, anyway. Yeah, I need to... That's the next thing I think I have to get the excavator going on is coal. Because it makes sense if you think about it, right? Because the excavators take a lot of steel. Steel is going to be, you know, what I need to focus on getting out of the excavators if I want that to kind of spiral out of control, you know what I mean? So, that means I need to focus on getting the components for steel out of the excavators so I can renew them? Is that the word I'm looking for? Replicate them? Nah, I don't know. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, I think. I just need that. So steel and coal from those. Is the diesel backing up yet? Yes. Okay, so it must have just filled up the buffer, filled up the pipes. Not sure what, but it's filled up something, and now it is backing up, which is excellent. And that means, now that I'm confident that it's not being wasted, I can throw the rest of the seeds, and let me just do another stack of these, which I'm almost out of, but that's okay. So I'll get my wheat out of those. Throw the wheat back in the fermenter as well. And then this is going to be slow, but it's going to build up a buffer, which is fine, because then that's going to... It's going to have a buffer of diesel, and then as soon as I flick this switch down here, everything's going to be powered, I think. Right? Full power. I could even, if I wanted to, turn on the power in this, but then I think that would make everything else stop. But in my experience, that's not quite what happened. That is what happened with the arc furnace. But that's not what happened with the excavator. Also, yeah, if anybody else gets scared that the graphite rods, electrodes despawned or something, that's just a graphical glitch. As soon as you right click on the arc furnace, it fixes itself. But yeah, it definitely scared me the first time I saw it. But hopefully now they won't even be so hard to make now that I'm making coal coke a lot more. But I need the coal for the steel. That's all I need. And then I should have a bunch though. I mean, I am kind of running low here. And is the enrichment chamber still running? It is. Is this still running? It is, but it's low on power. Which is fine. Yeah, this is just a little backed up with the iron. But given enough time, that's a nice thing about doing this on YouTube, right? Because usually what I'll do before or after recording an episode, if something's going like that, I'll just leave it and just walk away for a bit and then come back and it's all done. And then if I have the excavator on, I'll come back and that'll be like full of iron ore. And now I can come back and this will just be full of iron, right? Because it's just automatically getting that straight from the excavator. So I'm super happy with where we're at right now. But that being said, I don't really know where to go from here. I could set another excavator up, but that's going to be a lot of tedium, I think. So I don't want to do that right now. We got the power situation kind of sorted out. I think I want to automate some farming. So instead of automating the wheat farming right now, let me focus on automating the spell components, because I got far too close a lot of the time to running out of Sky Soarer. Well, I mean, I did run out a little bit, and then I had to basically just like go back and do some more. And you can see there's like some left over because there's no force like pushing it. So I think what you can do with this is I'll just take the blocks that still have stuff in it. Now, because of the way it's shaped, everything's not going to run down into it. But if I just do this kind of thing, they stack because they have the same amount. 2 millibuckets and 3 millibuckets. I mean, this is barely worth even doing, but you know, it's fine. And then 1, 2. Okay, so now everything is gone from there. I can get all these tanks back, and I can use them for something else if I so desire, which I may in the future. I'll take that back as well. But there's that. As soon as this is getting creosote, this will get pumped into here. It's not even half full, and that's like all the creosote I've ever made. So yeah, I'm not really concerned about this at this point. That is just good to go. And yeah, so let's work on the automation. So something that I really wish I had access to is a vacuum hopper, right? But that still needs open ingots. Maybe I do have access to this. Hang on. So the only thing here that's hard to get is open ingot, because I need a demon lord ingot. Same recipe in the arc furnace. This is so weird too, right? Like demon lord ingot. Like why even? I don't know. It's so weird to me. But so that needs a demon lord ingot, which needs a demon ingot. Now demon ingots are really easy to get, right? Lunar reactive dust is going to be the hard part here. And that is going to be Osglow lapis in a resonator. The resonator itself also maybe a little hard to get. The resonating orb is going to be the hardest part here, right? But if we have a look at the quests, this is under gadgets and utility, right? Which is kind of not that far off, right? This is the end of that quest line. Green lapis to pink lapis. Yeah. GP coming at you. So where do we get into that? At the end of exploration 3, right? This is the resonating orb I need. I need GP. So yeah, that's going to be after we go into the ether, it looks like. So that is actually pretty far away. Then how do I get into this? Onwards to the land of Bzz. Not entirely sure how these quests kind of lead into each other. Okay, well... Okay, you know what? Forget that for now. Let's just get a couple of these rewards here. Forget that for now. To continue on now, I'm going to make a basic energy cube. Right? Now, I've had some trouble with these before because I just assumed that you could like stick them anywhere on your power line and then it would just basically act like in a smart way, basically, where like if there's an excess, it would fill up, and if there was a deficit, it would drain. It doesn't quite work like that. You have to have input and output on separate lines or else it'll short out. I think my my experience with substations in Factorio kind of led me astray there, because Factorio really, really simplifies the power situation, and it's not quite as simplified here. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky, but it shouldn't be too bad. But ideally what I would want is for it to be connected somewhere where all of the power input, all the power generation, right? So these three things go straight into it, and then it comes out to other stuff. So basically this connection wouldn't exist then, right? Because that's going straight from like a power generation to that. I want to have the energy cube be kind of an intermediate between those. And I hope that makes sense. And why do I have another metallurgic infuser? This is going to be the diamond one, right? So let me just put that down. I didn't even realize I wasn't using it. There. Okay. Refined obsidian. You can just make yourself into the... Wait, no. This is how I made that. You can... Do you just smelt this? No, the osmium compressor is how you get that. So wait, how do you get this again? This is diamond plus obsidian. Okay, refined obsidian dust is diamond plus that. And then you can go in there and you can become one of the components of Oscilloglass. Glass. That's fine. And then really I want to put that in the storage system, but just for now I'm not going to bother hooking it up because it's not in the drawers anyway. Anyway, okay, back on track, back on track. So I want to make this, which means I want to make this HV capacitor. So that builds up from the MV capacitor. I need a block of lead, I need 2 silver plates, and I need 3 steel plates. So none of that should be hard. I don't actually know how much lead I have, though. Do I have any at all? Because I may not have any. Silver plates, I have a couple of. Lead ingots. Oh, I do have some lead, don't I? Yeah. How much do I actually need? 2 blocks. All right. Okay, and then 3 steel plates. Okay, and then a block of redstone. Okay, and then, so for this, I'm going to need more Oscilloglass glass. I need 10 total. I have 1 currently. So, and I'm running out of osmium. But I have a lot of osmium ore. Well, a lot is relative. I have 2 stacks just about. That's going to be really, really important for mechanism, just generally. So, I definitely want to focus on this for the excavator as well. But yeah, so this ore doubling is kind of busy for what's coming out of the excavator right now, especially considering our power situation. So for now, I am just going to throw it in the smeltery. I think that's going to be a bit faster. It's so nice that the smeltery ore doubles by default. It doesn't always do that. But they made it do it, and that's nice of them. So that'll be a stack of osmium, and then when I put in the other one, it'll be 2 stacks. So I want that for the compressor, and then I want to put glowstone in there because that's one of the components of Oscilloglass, along with the osmium itself. Oscilloglass basically is just a shitload of obsidian, or of osmium, excuse me. So I wish this was going a bit faster, so I am just going to do this. Let's see how long it takes to... that was instant. It just got all the power, and if I turn it off, because there's no power storage, it should start draining immediately. Right, but it does drain pretty slowly, so... I don't know how fast it used up the diesel. Let's see how much, if I still have any in the backup. Yeah, so it basically didn't use any. Ideally, what I would want is some kind of redstone situation where I only kick in the diesel generator when I need it. Like when there is a power deficit, right? And then, so yeah, I don't know if these energy cubes or if the capacitors or any of this stuff, maybe they could be configured to output a redstone signal based on their charge, but ideally I think what I would want is the diesel generator only to be active when these aren't at full charge. And I kind of doubt that there's any kind of like duty cycle, like efficiency loss, because like, you know, the thing, if there's no threshold, then basically when they're full, they would drain a tiny bit, the thing would kick in, they would fill back up, they would drain a tiny bit, or they would fill back up, the thing would turn off, then they drain a tiny bit, and basically that happens a bunch of times a second. There may be some like lag caused by that, but in terms of like the actual intended effects, I don't see it being an issue. But maybe I should just... Well, I don't want to leave it on for longer though, because I can't store it anywhere, so... Just leave it on long enough to fill up these buffers a bit. Yeah, it's kind of an inefficient way to do it, but what I'm doing right now is in pursuit of power storage. So that's going to be the solution ultimately to this problem. So I'm not too overly concerned. It is annoying, but I'm not too concerned. So I'll take those out now, and I'll just put the rest in glowstone. Use up the rest of the osmium. I don't know if it takes like a full ingot of osmium. It seems like it did. But then the 3 of those. When I kick in the arc furnace, I can probably just turn on the diesel generator and leave it on, honestly. But yeah, so I'm going to need 10. That should be fine. Yeah, this is going to take a while. I'm just going to take a little breather. I'll pause while this finishes and come back when it's done. All right, that looks done to me. So we'll get 13 out of it. I don't know if this just like knows where to put stuff. Seems like it does, right? When you shift click in. So yeah, so this is going to lose a lot of its power, and then it's going to get a lot slower. So I think because the arc furnace takes up so much power, I can probably just turn this on and leave it on. Maybe I don't want to waste all the diesel, though. How fast is this? Well, it's going to drain as fast as it was just a second ago, right? Wouldn't be any different. That wouldn't make any sense. If I turned on the excavator as well, maybe then it would be more of like a balance. Now it's not working at all. Okay, well now it's really slow, right? Which makes sense. This is why we're getting power storage. Turn this on. The diesel generator is just so much power compared to anything else. Like this is probably full already, yeah. Yeah, we really want to automate this. Basically, by the time I get over here, this is probably going to be almost fully drained. Okay, not quite. But like ultimately, that's taking like no diesel to do that. Like, I mean, it's taking some, but not a lot is the point. So having this automated to turn on and off efficiently, the diesel is going to go a long way, I think. And I'm looking really forward to not having to worry about power as much. Not that I have been worried about it. I mean, actually, it's been pretty good. But mostly because I haven't been using much of it, right? The thing now is I'm going to be using a lot more of it. One more flip. And that should finish out the last one. Like I said, I need 10 for the thing. So there we go. Crafting table down here, like I said. Definitely going to be a priority. All right, so just need these, and I don't have space for them. Okay, how about you can go in there. And then the block of redstone, which didn't I just put redstone away? No, it was a red alloy. 10. Miscounted. Yeah, getting the redstone in a compressing drawer might be something to look at for the near future. Okay, there's the HV capacitor. Keeps the energy stored, which is fine. I doubt this will keep the energy stored, but if it doesn't, not too much of a concern. Okay, so I need 8 and 4. 8 and 4. So I don't have those on me, but they should be in here. So I guess that was the I didn't look, but I guess that was the quest for the HV capacitor, which I'm never going to use. Just going to be turning it right into an energy block, energy cube. Oh, I need 2 extras. Missed that. All right, there's the energy cube. Okay, like a capacitor. And then I get some extra optical glass for that, which is good. And then you get the advanced one, and that's just some energetic alloy, and then a couple more of those. So this is not even that much harder to make. I am just going to throw this down for now and just start using it. But yeah, the advanced one isn't even going to be that hard to make comparatively, which is cool. Let's go ahead and grab an HV transformer that, again, I likely will never use. That's okay, though. Throw it in the chest. I think I may already have one. No, I guess not. I have a transformer, not an HV transformer. I think it steps down MV to LV, and then HV is HV to MV. Anyway, right, so where do I put this? So I want power out. If I put it, let me just take this up because that's just gonna mess up everything, which is fine. Because power needs to go out to here and to here. What if I just changed that? What if I just put another relay somewhere else? Is that the solution here? I want to say it's not the solution here. No, because then I'd have like... No, it could go on the wall there. That might be it. Let me just find here. Yeah. So where are we now? We're behind everything, right? So the power needs to go here, and the power needs to go up there. So if I just carved this out a little bit more, and I want to have this relatively accessible. It doesn't need to be super accessible, but I want it to be relatively so. So I think that's going to be fine for that. Take that up because I don't think that's going to fly. And then I could have the energy cube here. Right. This works. And then the connector can go here. Well, that's the wrong thing. That can go there. I assume that's going to actually work. Maybe it won't. But that can be the connector. No, excuse me. Wait, where do I actually want this? The connector can go there. And then if I go straight up, oh shit. All right, I need to remake that, I guess. So not necessarily straight up. What was that then? That looked like a hopper. What am I doing? That was the hopper. There it is. Okay. Well, that's fine. And then you can be one of these again. There you go. Okay. So not exactly there. There's no room for it there. But if I had it here instead. So let's move this to here. And then you can go there, and then there can be a relay up there. That's going to connect directly to all the rest of the stuff up here. So that's where the power up here is ultimately going to come from. This is going to go away. And then this and this are going to connect just down here to the tube along with the diesel generator. To the tube? To the cube. Right, so that's right there. And you can go right there. All right, and then as soon as that gets connected up here, now that's going to be power output. Does this have a side configuration? It does. Okay, so if I turn this off, that was for that side, right? No, okay, so this is the left side, which means this is the front. Okay, so the front is going to be output. Front is output. Everything else can be nothing for now. Front is output. Front is output. Front is output. And then that's going up there. And that's going to be input. Input, I think, is going to work best on top. Right? And then I should have... I thought I had another... Yeah. Okay, so then that's going to be the input. And output is also going to be on the left. And that is eventually going to go all around here, I think. But yeah, so the input is going to go here. And I really hope these are compatible. That's my main concern right now. Is that going to be in the way a little bit? Obstructed? No, not at all. Wow. And then this. I need to connect both of these, so I need a relay, which I still have one of. There you go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ah. And then I just need to connect the windmill up. So I guess I need to fly up there again. Perfect. Okay, so now this should be set up in some form of semi-permanent way, right? Because, so if I go down here, assuming everything works, and it sounds like it is, I hear the machines going, and they're getting power, and they're keeping power. Is this getting power? No, it's empty. But if I turn off the output, now it's getting power. Okay. So it is getting power. We were just at a deficit, right? Which makes sense. So output there and there. And now it's draining the power. What I want then is a redstone signal that comes out of this. I don't know if this is going to be doable. You just have input and output. Maybe it does just have a redstone signal by default. Probably not, though. Okay. I'm going to look into if there's a way to do that. But, yeah. Ultimately, this should just work, right? This should just work. And it's a lot of power storage. Right now it's storing... Oh, I changed the units. Put that back in RF. Okay, so yeah, it's storing like 1 RF right now. If I kick on the diesel, how fast does this fill up? Pretty fast. Pretty fast. So what I want to do is have this fill up and then turn off the diesel. So what I need to do is I need to look at and see if there's a way to detect that somehow, whether that's redstone or something else. I don't know what else it would be, but you never know with these mod packs, right? But if there's a way to do that, then I'm going to connect it to the diesel generator, right? And then that should be absolutely perfect. So let's see. The redstone signal is off, right? Maybe when this fills up, maybe I need to turn the side config on output. No. So there's no kind of redstone signal by default, but maybe there is going to be a way. But anyway, that seems like a really good setup for right now. And it's not even draining anymore, so I guess probably the arc furnace finished. Is the excavator still on? It is. Why is that not draining then? I mean, I shouldn't really be complaining. That is still running. But it's running very slowly. Wait, no, why? What happened here? Like this should all be connected still. Right? Front is output still. It is draining. It is draining. Can it not drain fast enough? Maybe because it's a basic cube, it can't drain fast enough to keep up with the excavator? I mean, if anything, that's a good way to limit it, right? Because now there's still enough power for everything else to go around, it seems like. Well, I mean, there's some stuff to troubleshoot. There's some stuff that still needs to be done with that. But for now, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.